Good morning, everyone. Most people out front know me, but for those of you who don't, I'm Dr. Calderon, the very proud principal of Frankford High School. I'd like to welcome back all the alumni and distinguished guests back to the home of champions, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. I'd also like to welcome all of our faculty, staff, and especially our current students this morning, especially those that will soon, very soon, be joining the ranks of the Alumni Association when they graduate in June. It's a great honor to stand before you today as we prepare to honor the 113th Pioneer Award winner, Mr. Robert E. Craven. Each time we honor the Pioneer Award winner, we bring deeper meaning to the phrase, once a pioneer, always a pioneer. At this time, I ask that you all rise as our junior ROTC presents our nation's colors. Please remain silent. Please be seated. Thank you to Ms. Wizov and the cast of High School Musical for your rendition of the national anthem. At this time, I would like to call up the president of the Frankford High School Alumni Association, Mrs. Betty Ann Fisher Creighton, class, am I allowed to say it? Of 1970.
Well, good morning, Frankford High School, and good morning, class of 2022. And I understand we have some folks from the class of 2023. Okay, not everybody. Well, good morning, and we are here to celebrate one of Frankfurt's outstanding graduates. The Pioneer Award is our Hall of Fame celebration, our MVP. We know that there are many, and you will be a part of that community when you graduate in June. First, I'd like to just bring your attention to some of the folks on the stage. We have former Pioneer Award winners, Mr. Tom Sam, Dr. Harry Gatilius, Sue Fiola, and myself. We also have the family and friends of Mr. Craven, our award winner, and he will introduce them when he comes up to speak. And I'd also like to bring attention to our alumni board, Ms. Gail Thibodeau, Ms. Sue Fiola, Dr. Harry Gatilius, as you met before, and Mr. Frank Mariani. Listen closely to the story of today's outstanding award winner. Remember that he sat in this very same auditorium, these same chairs as all of you. In fact, all the Frankfurt alumni on the stage today once sat in this room too. You belong to a very special family. After you graduate, no matter where you go, you will find Frankfurt grads, and I can attest to that. Everywhere you go, just wear your Frankfurt hat, your Frankfurt t-shirt, your Frankfurt hoodie. We urge you to join the Alumni Association and to stay in touch with your classmates and your school. Thank you to everyone who is making today's celebration a very special event. The music department, the JRRTC, the senior class officers, our cheerleaders, culinary arts, Dr. Calderon, and the staff and students of Frankfurt. And now it is my pleasure to turn the program over to the award-winning cast of High School Musical.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Tough act to follow. My name is Harry Gatilius. I'm a graduate of Frankford High School, also was a teacher here at Frankford High before becoming principal at George Washington High School. Hope that doesn't bother you that I was at George Washington for a while. Anyway, today we're celebrating a long list of winners here at the Pioneer Achievement Award. This thing goes back to 1963. We thought it'd be a good idea to give you a brief look at some of the award winners in years gone by. So today we're just going to take a look at 8 winners very briefly to give you an idea of the type of winners that we have had. We have plaques of all the winners out in the hallway, and we took some pictures of these plaques and want to show them to you and talk to you about some of these winners for a few minutes. I'm going to start with Sandy Legere. Sandy Legere was a student of mine when I was a teacher here at Frankford High. She grew up in Bridesburg, and when she graduated from Frankfurt, she went on to a wonderful career as a student at the University of Pennsylvania. And she went on to become what's called a vice admiral in the United States Navy. She was the highest award winner of somebody who was not commissioned in the Navy. And she did such an outstanding job for the military in America that she was personally awarded by the President of the United States at a special ceremony in the White House. Sandy Legere went a long way from Bridesburg to become a national celebrity. The second winner I want to talk about is a guy by the name of Blair Thomas. Blair Thomas is the greatest running back in the history of Frankford High School. He was All-American first team at Penn State. He was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy, and he was selected second in the overall draft by the New York Jets and was obviously made an instant millionaire. Unfortunately for Blair, his career ended briefly a couple years later with injury, but he did a great job as a running back and remained a wonderful alumnus for Frankford High School. Joe Bonsall is the third person. Joe Bonsall was the lead singer of a very famous rock group and also country music group called the Oak Ridge Boys. Joe Bonsall had the #1 song in the United States in 1981. It was called Elvira. And when he got the Pioneer Achievement Award, a very interesting thing happened. When he got it, that song was still popular, and unbeknownst to everybody, it was going to be in the auditorium. When he got up here, it opened up, and behind there were the Oak Ridge Boys, and they performed live and on stage the #1 hit record in the United States at that time. To this day, Joe and his group still perform in Nashville and are known throughout the world for their excellence in music. The next winner would be Bruce Baldwin. Now, Bruce Baldwin was the first recipient of the Pioneer Achievement Award. And believe it or not, I can remember being a senior here at Frankfurt, and I sat right over here in the auditorium when the first Pioneer Achievement Award was given to Bruce Baldwin in 1963. You may have played soccer at Frankfurt or field hockey or been over to baseball, softball. If you have, you've played at a place called Baldwin Field. That's where we play across from the football stadium. If you ever wonder why it was called Baldwin Field, it's because of Bruce Baldwin and his family. Very, very famous family in the city of Philadelphia. The next award recipient I'd like to mention is Dr. Leon Johnston. Dr. Johnston was the first African-American graduate of Frankfurt High School. In 1929, he graduated from Frankfurt, went on to a tremendous career as a medical doctor, and he won the Pioneer Achievement Award in 1987. Then something interesting happened. In 2008, Lila Johnston won the award. That's his daughter. So not only did Dr. Johnston become the first African-American graduate of Frankfurt High School, he was a Pioneer Achievement Award winner, and his daughter followed in his footsteps, an amazing Frankfurt High School family. Next is Bob Borski. Bob Borski was an excellent basketball player here at Frankfurt, went on to a distinguished career at the University of Baltimore as a basketball player, and in 1982 he was elected to Congress of the United States. And for 20 years, Bob served in the House of Representatives of the United States, a long and distinguished career in politics. Our next winner is Al Angelo. Al is the legendary football coach of Frankfurt High School, the second winningest coach in the history of the city of Philadelphia. In 2000, the Philadelphia Daily News named him the outstanding high school coach in the city of Philadelphia for the 20th century, an award well recognized. I wanted to mention, too, that Al's son, Skippy, played football for him, was a championship quarterback for one of Al's championship teams. Amazing individual. Incidentally, I mentioned Blair Thomas to you before. When Blair was selected by the New York Jets, to tell you how much he loved Al Angelo, he said, Al, I've made a lot of money. I want to send you and your wife, Janet, on a trip anywhere you want to go in the entire world. It's on me. That's the type of relationship we had between Al Angelo, Blair Thomas, and our football players. Which leads us to our last winner, another football player, Jari Evans. Jari was an all-league football lineman here at Frankford High, but he went on to Bloomsburg University. The reason, because he was injured his senior year at Frankfurt, didn't go to Division I, went to Bloomsburg, but didn't stop him from becoming quite a lineman. He was selected by the New Orleans Saints, and when they won the Super Bowl in 2006, he was a starting lineman, and a year later, Jari Evans became the highest paid offensive lineman in professional football. He concluded his career with the Green Bay Packers, and today he chairs the Jari Evans Foundation to help poor kids in and around the city of New Orleans. You're seeing that we have quite a few great winners of the Pioneer Achievement Award. Today it's a pleasure to have a new one, and to introduce that, I'd like to bring to the podium Sergeant Joe Frioli. Joe, please introduce our next winner. Thank you.
Good morning, students of Frankford High School. Hopefully one day, one or more of you will be up here on this stage receiving this award. I'd like to welcome you to the ceremony, as many other people have done before me. I'd like to welcome the staff and faculty members that are here at the ceremony. Definitely would like to welcome the alumni. And last but not least, the family members and friends of our recipient today, Mr. Robert Craven. I did not know. Well, from here on in, I'm going to call him Bob because we have a relationship back almost 15 years now. I did not know Bob in his younger days. He graduated from Frankfurt in 1966, so I know he's older than me because I graduated in 68. So I could call him Gramps now, and then that'll be a lot better for me. In 1967, he went into the Air Force, and he served a 4-year tour, mostly in continental United States and Alaska. Upon graduation, I'm assuming he used the GI Bill to go to Penn State Abington and Temple University to get his degree. And before he graduated, he met his future wife, Miss Linda Logue, who is up here on stage, in October 1971. So if you do the math, they celebrated their 50th anniversary this past fall, and I'd like to give them a belated congratulations on that if I can. So when Bob left college with his degree, he got probably a really great job. He worked for U.S. Customs and Homeland Security. Anytime you get a job working for the federal government, trust me, it's the thing to do. You're taken care of for pretty much the rest of your life. Is that still true? Oh, well, maybe not. So anyway, as he was working in his career, you know, him and Linda started a family and eventually had 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. The son's name was Scott. And I'm bringing this up because Scott eventually joined the Air Force. And they became what's called a Blue Star family. Any service member, any family having a son or daughter, family member in the service becomes a Blue Star family. So the family was doing things that the middle-class families do in life back in the 80s and 90s, and just moving along and doing things like they're supposed to. But unfortunately, an accident happened. Well, Bob retired in 2004. Not quite sure how he managed that after 34 years of federal service. And then he decided to go into volunteer work. This is where I kind of met Bob and when he was doing his volunteer work. He started as the original National Cemetery up in Newtown, Pennsylvania. He started working on committees to work with them and develop it. And now he serves as what they call the Guardians of the National Cemetery. He's the president of the organization. They do all kinds of functions, Memorial Day, Veterans Day. They help raise money for new memorials and things that go on. In fact, I think you just said that they did for the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers. They have a garden up there. So if you've never been up to the National Cemetery in Newtown, I know the word cemetery scares a lot of people, but you might want to take a ride up there and see how it's laid out. It is a beautiful cemetery, but also the memorials are up there to the various different groups and organizations. Bob has also volunteered in his American Legion and serves as post commander. Well, a couple years after his retirement, the Blue Star family, unfortunately, through a tragic accident, became a Gold Star family. Gold Star family is a family that loses a family member to death during their time of service. So they now had to deal with this, and they worked through this, and they continued their volunteer service, and Bob added more volunteer time by joining the Travis Manion Foundation. Travis Manion Foundation is named after Lieutenant Travis Manion, and his famous saying is, "If not me, then who?" And when you think about that, that can relate to everybody in this audience. In addition to that, Bob also established, now, his son Scott, at the time of his death, was in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. And Scott didn't just do all military stuff. On his off-duty time, he volunteered as a mentor in a middle school. Military people do things more than what you know of. It's not just get up and go and fight the war. They do all the things helping families. They help out in times of need and want. So Scott had time, and he went out there and he became a mentor. And then he talked other of his mates in the Air Force unit he was in to come out and be mentors in that school. I bring this up because now the Craven family has established a program in Scott's name, a mentorship program, and they fund it. And to this day, students in Georgia, this one middle school, receive financial assistance as needed. And to me, that's a kind of legacy that carries on. And also, I'm kind of happy the fact that I didn't know this, but Bob and his wife also have a stipend for a senior in the school. Well, when I went to school, it was called Bishop Egan. Not called Bishop Egan anymore. It's now called Bishop Conwell Egan. And they help and assist a senior with expenses. So to this day, Bob is an amazing person. He doesn't really speak much about himself, but he is a great presenter. We've had him here at the Travis Manion Foundation talking to many of our classes up in JROTC. We've opened that up several times. And basically, it's a volunteer program to get you to work and help in the community or in the school. And we're going to kind of resurrect that from where it was. So I've actually talked enough about Bob. Now we got to do what's to deliver the hardware. So at this time, I would like to present, well, I'd ask for Mr. Robert Craven, going back to our formality. Please step forward. I'd like to present Mr. Robert Craven with the Pioneer Achievement Award, class of 1966 by the Frankford High School Alumni Association for Outstanding Achievement, Leadership, and Service, May 11, 2022. Champion Pride, and he's our 113 award recipient. So let's have a big round of applause.
Thank you. First, I'd like to introduce my family and guests that are here today. Seated next to me is my wife, Linda. Next to Linda is my daughter, Julie, with her husband, Gus Haralambus. Behind Gus is my son-in-law, Nick Tranchitella, with his wife, Melissa. And the twins in our family, Gabby and Sophia. Can you wave? I have my cousins here also. Bill Maddox, class of 71. His wife, Barbara Maddox, class of 77. Nancy Tustin, class of 74. The matriarch of our family, my Aunt Marion Williams. And a close friend of mine for almost 60 years, Bob Barton, class of '66. So now the thank yous. I'd like to thank the Frankford High School Alumni Association for this prestigious award. I'd like to thank the faculty and staff of Frankford High School. I'd like to thank my classmates, both those with us and those who are not. And from all of you, the students of Frankford High School. And most of all, my family and friends. Again, my wife. We've known each other for 56 years, been married for over 50, had 3 wonderful children. We have 6 amazing grandchildren. You've made my life. Thank you. Julie and Melissa, thank you for being the daughters that you are and for selecting good guys to marry. You are all special to me. Gus and Nick, thank you for occasionally saying no to these ladies. I never could. To all 4 of you, thank you for being the parents you are and for the joy of grandchildren. And I think only grandparents can understand that comment. Aunt Marion, our family matriarch, I am so very happy that you are able to share this day with us. Your guidance over the years and continuing on is special to me. To my parents and Linda's parents, who are not with us, thank you for guiding us. Bill, Barb, and Nancy, as my cousins, you have experienced the best of times with our family and the tragedies. Thank you for always being there. Bobby, again, thank you for almost 60 years of special friendship. And finally, to Frankford High School itself, this building. I have a message that I want to give to you students. These hallowed halls have produced some great tradesmen, great minds in STEM, greats in the arts, humanities, education, medicine, public service, athletics, coaching, and on. Those folks have all walked these halls. I know of something special that those who have walked these halls have, and you may not have yet realized it. Something not in the curriculum or on your schedule, something not consciously taught or learned, to and by all who have passed through these halls. That special something sought by all, and maybe not understood, is respect. Whatever walk of life or wherever you are in life, we all want to be respected. I don't know of a book or a lesson plan that teaches respect, but we all pretty much know it when we see it. The teaching and learning of respect is unintentional. So how does one get respect? It's not something given or learned. It's earned. The secret of respect is often overlooked. That secret is that one must give respect to get respect. So how do we consciously convince anyone to respect us? One way, a relatively easy way, is through a random act of kindness. Strive each day to do something nice that you would not have done the day before. Hold the door open for someone. Sit at lunch with that student who has no one sitting with them and speak with them. Please and thank you go a long way. Random acts of kindness are contagious. As you change small things in your life, you'll notice unexpectedly something you'd not noticed before. It doesn't matter whether that something is new or whether it's been there all along. You'll start to notice it. Small changes increase, both in number and relevance, and life will get better. Not overnight, but it will happen, and you'll notice. Maybe the best places to start are here in this building and at home. Why home? I would submit to you that your parents and family, the people that love you unconditionally, deserve your respect. The people who work to give you opportunities to have better, a life better than they had, definitely warrant your respect for the sacrifices that they have made on your behalf. And please don't forget the folks in this building, day in and day out, the students, faculty, and staff of Frankford High School. The GOATs, the greatest of all times, are here. You just have to be open enough to realize it. And Sergeant Frioli, you might be younger than me, but you're not better looking. Joe, friend, thank you for everything you've done today. I appreciated it immensely. And Joe Brennan, thank you. Thank you all very much. I appreciate this immensely. Thank you.
On behalf of Frankford High School, we'd like to give this certificate of appreciation to Robert E. Craven by the students of Frankford High School for his service to our country and for being a mentor to youth and to grieving families. This further demonstrates his willingness to spread the pioneer spirit and serve others throughout his life.
Just give another round of applause to Mr. Craven and everybody here at Frankfurt. This has kind of come up throughout various people's remarks during this, but I really want you students to pay attention to this because, you know, when I was in your seats, not these very ones, but in high school, I didn't pay attention a lot when like adults spoke. And I regretted that for pretty much like the next 30 years of my life. But today is just another example of the tradition of excellence that exists at Frankford High School. You've heard the list of just some of the people: Super Bowl champions, #2 draft picks, doctors, just some incredibly important people in the world have sat in these same seats as you. And for those of you here, like, they're the original seats. Those seats are over 100 years old. The people that have come before you, have paved the way, soak it in. Not many schools have the rich tradition that Frankfurt has. It's one of the things that I love most about Frankfurt High School, is that we are just a small part, a blip on the radar of Frankfurt High School. It is an honor to be here each and every day and to say that you were once a pioneer, you'll always be a pioneer. So I truly believe that, you know, and hopefully it's while I'm still alive and I can come back, that there's another Pioneer Award winner sitting amongst us today. And you don't know who it could be. The person next to you, it could be you. Because I'll tell you, in high school, I would have never thought I would have been a high school principal, I'll tell you that. And I'm sure nobody at my high school would have thought that either. So you don't know. Like, you don't even know oftentimes the greatness that lies within you. And I just want you to really take that in and realize that you are the ones that control that. Nobody else. You are the only person that controls how successful you will become and I know that there is greatness in each and every one of you. So I think that at this point we're going to prepare, because I don't believe we're cheerleaders. No. Alma mater. I am going to. Oh, we do. All right. So I am going to turn this back over to our fantastic choir, musical performers, conglomerate of singers that are going to sing our alma mater.
Alumni, if you'd like to stand up and join, too. You're all going to learn this song for graduation. It is the school song. It's probably, what, 100 years old?
I'm like, right. Oh, there you go. There you go. You were right, Ms. Wiz. It happens. It happens. At this point, I'm going to ask your teachers to take you back to class. I do want to thank you. When I first came to Frankfurt, having an assembly, I'll wait. You're not helping. It's going to actually compliment you on what a tremendous audience you were today as you started talking over me. But you did a great job. I know it's tough to just sit still. I struggle with that myself to this day. But thank you for being a great audience, and hopefully, if any of you win the Pioneer Award, look me up. I want to come back to say it. So have a great day. Thank you for being a great audience, and wait for your teachers to take you back to class. Thank you.